Welcome back to Beelzebub the Jag. On a video I made yesterday, I mentioned that the upper wishbone bushes just didn't look right. If you saw those videos yesterday, I was pointing out that there was space here and here, and it just didn't look right. So I've investigated it and dismantled everything, put them all back, and there was nothing wrong there. And I found what it was. I've put a new ball joint in, and inside you've got the two studs that fit through here. Then there are spacers. They're quite long, strange things. They've got like a fork that digs in one side. Then you can roll it over, and there's a hook that fits over here. They're supposed to be two either side, and there were only two. And so it was about a millimetre and a half either side, which is a 3 millimetre total. And it was pulling, when this was tightened up, it was pulling the arms just too far in. So it was bending over there. And obviously what was happening, it was crushing that there. And yeah, so it was opening here and opening at the back, and exactly the same the other side. So what I've done, because I don't have any of the proper spacers, and I couldn't really face the task of sitting there and trimming one out, I could easily copy as a template and trim them out of solid sheet. But I found some washers that are pretty much they might be half of a millimetre too big. And I've put 4 washers in just to sort of increase that spacing. If we look down, you can actually see, if I put my finger underneath, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, you can actually see daylight through there. You shouldn't be able to do that, but it shouldn't actually make any difference. With the proper spacers, it's 100% contact between the arm and the ball joint, but I think we'll be okay with that. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to order some proper spacers, so that it's torqued up correctly. So it's all to the correct torque, but it's got washers rather than these long spacers. And I can't be bothered to make them. I'll probably be able to buy them for £1.50 if I can find them. So I'll buy more spacers. I only need 2. It just shows you, doesn't it? Somebody's obviously once again been fiddling with this in the past, years ago, and pulled it apart and then lost a couple of the spacers and pushed it back. And this is the same side where there was a problem with the shaft, the hub shaft, whatever it's called, being basically mangled. So, you trust people to do a job, and they don't even put the correct amount of spacers in, and they cross-thread nuts. So you can imagine the chance of them being sort of torqued to the manufacturer's recommendations is next to 0. So I'm very sure that mine are all torqued properly. There's my torque wrench just down here, and I've got all of the values here. It's a bit filthy. It's a beautiful sort of Jaguar workshop manual, and I have got it very dirty, but yeah, at least I've got all of the values I need. So I've made sure every nut and bolt is tightened to the specified torque. I just like to know that it's right. So brake caliper's still hanging there. So tomorrow I will get, hopefully, my new shaft. Now let's just look at this. Look, this looks a bit mangled and a bit weird. It does look like that when there's no pressure on the spring, and that's why that looks all twisted. It will level itself out. When it's actually on the wheel, on the pavement, I'll loosen that nut and just retighten it and push the bushes back in, because I've put them in and torqued it without any pressure. There's no weight on that spring, is what I'm trying to say, and ideally there should be. So yeah, that looks a bit weird and it's squeezing out, so I certainly won't be leaving that. I'll come back to that tomorrow. Fingers crossed my new shaft will arrive tomorrow and I'll get this job finished, but enough's enough. I can't really do any more today. I'm sort of at a bit of a loose end. There's nothing more I can do until I get that shaft.